I'm the creative director and founder of Tee-Clothiers Limited, and I also serve as a youth ambassador for ECOWAS Youth Council. And to state, most of our customers are based abroad. 65% of our customers are based in the UK, Canada, America, and Australia. I gathered my document for almost 9 months. One of your videos, for when I was reading the evidence that I couldn't understand again.
Thank you.
So what do you think really stood out from your pieces of evidence that helped you to get the visa?
So for fashion design, all your evidences has to be majorly under fashion. So what I did was I made sure people writing my letters of recommendation are top fashion designers. As a youth ambassador with ECOWAS, one of our objectives is helping young entrepreneurs back home in Nigeria that needs help. The easiest way to get this visa is going through or seeking help from someone that has gotten this visa. A lot of people are going in and applying for the fashion. The rejection rate is more than almost 95% at the moment. Getting the global talent puts you on the global map. It puts you on the global map.
All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. We're back again with another series where we talk to seasoned professionals, bring them here to kind of encourage us, to enlighten us, to give us more information. This is one of the videos that you really need to have your piece of paper and your notebook, because you are definitely going to get a whole lot of information. And videos like this, I'm going to put the description. I've talked to 2 other people concerning this global talent visa in art and culture. I believe if you can watch the first 2 videos, I'll put the link, and watch this one, you have all the information that you need to apply for this visa. So watch those videos, you come back, watch this one. Like this video if you have not liked it yet. Subscribe to this channel for more content like this. Today, we have a personality, recipient of the global talent visa, currently living in the UK. Tosin Aruna, welcome to the channel.
Thank you very much.
How are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you too?
Very fine.
Good to see you.
Right, so let's get to know you. Who is Tosin Aruna?
Like you already said, my name is well, I'm a youth ambassador with ECOWAS, so I like to be addressed sometimes as Ambassador Tosin Aruna.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Okay.
You can call me Ambassador Tosin Aruna. I'm the creative director and founder of Tee-Clothiers Limited. Tee-Clothiers is a male fashion brand that deals in bespoke attires. We've been operating for the past 12 years back home in Nigeria. And after I got my UK Global Talent Visa, I registered my business down here, Tee-Clothiers Limited also. And we're also operating here. I'm a recipient of Nelson Mandela Leadership Award for Excellence and Integrity, and I also serve as a youth ambassador for ECOWAS Youth Council. I'm also a member of Forbes Black, and Tee-Clothiers we've received numerous awards. So that's me.
Wow. We're going to get into all those details shortly. You are the recipient of the global talent visa and under fashion, right?
Yes,
Art
please.
and culture, fashion. Let's get to understand the humble beginning. What drives you? What pushes you into this in fashion industry? Why not engineering? Why not IT and so many other things? How did you get into this field?
So I'm gonna say I got this entrepreneurial spirit from my mom. So growing up as a child, my mom used to have a store, and I was always referred to as the shop boy growing up because I was always at the store. After secondary school, after closing of school day, I go to the store and help them over there at the store. So I got into that business world very fast. And funny enough, during my undergraduate, I studied economics in school, right? So how did I start the fashion business? Way back in school, I used to love to dress really, really well. So I noticed after dress when I was in my year one, when I go to school, I went to Crawford University, Ogun State, to say. So
Mm.
we're always dressed corporate wears and all those things. So a lot of people tell me, Tosin, you look good. I like what you're wearing. Can I buy this shoe? Can I buy this thing from you? So what actually happened? There was a day I went with two palm slippers to school for my own self. So a friend of mine came into my room, and when you get into school, you're unpacking your box. Do you get what I mean? And he saw the slipper and he was like, "Is this like you want to start dressing so well again? Can I just get this? Can I buy this off you?" Do you get what I mean? So he got the slippers of me. I got the slippers for 1.5 back then. This was 2006 in my 2000. So I got that slippers for 1.5, and he said he wanted to buy it. I just thought of it. Okay, I can sell it to you. I sold it to him for 2,000 naira then, and I made 500. And he went into his room, and his other roommate saw the slippers also. Came to me again, like he saw this from his friend. Do I still have it? I had another one. That same slippers, I sold that one for 2.5. So I just thought about it. Yeah, I could make 500, 1,000 from just this slippers. The next thing I did was I just went home and got stuff, and that's how the business. So I started with selling ready-made attires first before we now moved into making bespoke attire. So it started with the ready-made stuff, and we now graduated into making bespoke attire. So that's like the issue of how Tee-Clothiers started.
Okay, can you walk us through the experience, gathering the experience, understanding how to kind of start making all this stuff on your own? Because you must have gone through what do they call it, apprenticeship with someone or whatsoever. How did you kind of navigate that stage? And
so, like I said, I started by selling ready-made attires. I did this for almost 7 years. I started selling ready-made. I sold ready-made attires for 7 years. After I finished my university, I went on to open like a walk-in store. I opened a walk-in store where people come in and buy what I sell. So at the early stages of this thing, I started to see like a lot of people now started selling this ready-made stuff. So I thought to myself, Tosin, what do you want to do? How do you want to be different? Because I'm a kind of person like I don't like to go with the flow. I like to be different, Some people say you do this and it's not good. I say I dare to be different, because you daring to be different is what's going to make you stand, be special from other people. So I thought to myself, everybody is selling ready-made. What do you want to do? So I went to there's this place in Lagos. It's called Mandelas, and there are some people that make ready-made, that make bespoke attires. So I used to go there every day, sit with them, watch them do this, do that. I did that for almost 1 year. Do you get what I mean? I started to learn how to measure people. I started to learn how to do measuring, how to use the machine. And the beginning stages was really, really difficult for me, because I live very far from the place I was training, and I had to still come there every day because I didn't want to remain in the ready-made part. I just wanted to do bespoke, because the Nigerian people, the Nigerian body, the way it is, not everybody can wear ready-made stuff. The African man is not built like the Englishman. Most African men, some of them have got pot belly. So I thought to myself, what can I do to make somebody wear my attire with whatever body shape he has, and it's still going to look well? So that's why I just went into the bespoke learning. Then we started making bespoke attires, so everybody can feel comfortable with whatever they're wearing.
Okay. Did you come into the UK with the Global Talent Visa?
No, I didn't come into the UK with the Global Talent Visa. So I came into the UK for further knowledge. I came to the UK to do my MSc. I did an MSc in project management from Northumbria University, Newcastle. So while I was doing my MSc, I stumbled upon the Global Talent Visa online. My wife has actually been telling me about the Global Talent Visa even before I came to the UK for my MSc. If I had taken what she was saying then serious, maybe I could have come into the UK with the Global Talent Visa. But I tell people no knowledge is lost, no regret. So while I was studying, while I was doing my MSc, I got to know about the global talent, and I read all the guidelines, and I thought to myself, Tosi, I think you have all these evidences you are looking for. You just need to know how to tailor it. That's why I just started doing what I needed to do, and to God be the glory. Before I finished my MSc, I got my global talent, and I didn't even have to do the post-study. I switched immediately after my MSc to the global talent visa.
Okay. So you moved to the UK. The business is still operating in Nigeria.
Yeah, our business is we still have a walk-in store in Lagos, and we started doing same business here in the UK.
What gave you the drive to leave your business to a foreign country like this? Did you think about kind of operational setting, like, okay, this business is still going to run no matter where I am, or you have like maybe you believe in your team and all that, or at that point were you thinking of kind of giving up the business or starting it all over here in the UK?
Okay, so like I tell people, my coming to the UK was very strategic. I had no plans to, like people say, I didn't jackpot to the UK. Do you get what I'm trying to say? I had my business in Nigeria. My business in Nigeria has been there for almost 12 years. So my business I've got a business structure. I have workers. I have tailors that work with us. I have a store manager. I have a workshop manager. So the business structure is there. So I thought about it like, and to state, most of our customers are based abroad. 65% of our customers are based in the UK, Canada, America, and Australia. So I thought to myself, Tosin, you've saved up some money. Why don't you go for further knowledge? I went to the UK, did my master's, and I'm still trying to break the UK market, bring Tea-Clothiers into the UK. So all was planned from the beginning. There was no contemplating that would I close the shop. The store in Lagos is still there, and it's not closing anytime soon.
Okay, so what is challenges that you've observed so far running this business for all these years?
That's a big question. There are loads of challenges running a bespoke business in Nigeria, or running a tailoring business or a fashion business in Nigeria. The first thing is funding. In Nigeria, it's actually very, very difficult to get funding from the government or from big organizations. So all what you need to do, you need to know how to get your income or get your capital started. So for me, I was lucky. I started early. I started back when I was in university, so I was able to make some profit from what I was doing in order to expand and grow from there. And another challenge I faced, Nigeria was epileptic power supply. As a tailor, as a fashion designer, what we do is we use the machine and we need the light. So spending money on buying PMS and all this thing was so much for us. So if the federal government of Nigeria can help upcoming fashion designer, help with with good power supply, it would really, really go a lot.
Okay, let's come down to the global talent visa, because I believe a lot of people that have clicked this video to watch wants to understand how you made this possible as a fashion personality. You are in the UK, you heard of the visa and you are like, okay, like I've already gotten all the evidence. You believe in yourself according to how you put it. Okay, Ambassador Tosin, you have all these things. What are the things that you have that really gave you the drive? Like, okay, if I apply for this year, I'm getting this visa.
To be truthful, I didn't have any. I was not so sure I was going to get the visa when I applied for the visa, right? What I said earlier was I read the criteria, the guidelines, and that guidelines is, when you look at that guideline, it looks as if the more you look, the less you see. Because these people, they use some grammar that you can never understand. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? When you look at this thing today, you think you have this, you go back to your evidence and you feel you don't have anything. Do you understand what I'm saying? So what I did is I had to bring all this document, write it down in my own English. Do you understand what I'm saying? I had to write them down in my own English and go to the drawing board. I gathered my document for almost 9 months. You get what I'm saying? Because I was targeting the period I was going to finish my MSc, because personally, I never wanted to apply for the post-study. I said it's the UK Global Talent Visa I wanted. So I made sure I took these guidelines, wrote them down. And one thing I also did, I sought for knowledge from people. That reminds me, one of your videos was one of when I was reading the evidence that I couldn't understand again. I had to just go online, and during my own time there were no much videos about the fashion design. Then I just clicked on Google Global Talent Visa UKVI. Then I saw your video. I was like, thank God. Then one of your videos was one of the things that helped me navigate all my evidence. You spoke to, I think, a lady, a petite lady, and I think just during my time, it was just the lady we had spoken to then. So that video helped me, and numerous videos. And like I said, I seek for knowledge. I had to, I actually paid people that have gotten this visa to get consultation to see way, because sometimes there was the time I was almost going to submit, and I looked at my evidences and I said, Tosin, you're going to pay £524 for endorsement. If you don't get this visa, £524 is gone. So I had to go look for people that have gotten this visa, paid consultation with them. When I now saw that I was okay, then I applied and I got the visa.
Okay. So let's look at your pieces of evidence. It's another key information a lot of people wants to understand. A lot of people are in Nigeria. Some people are here in the UK. They are a fashion designer, but it's as if they cannot pull out these 10 pieces of evidence to apply for this visa. So what do you think really stood out from your pieces of evidence that helped you to get the visa?
Okay, like I said, I've been a fashion designer for a very long time. So what made me stood out, what made my evidence easy for me was most of this stuff. Like there's a part of the evidence where you need media publications. That is something the media have spoken about you or spoken about your work. So I went online, kept Tee-Clothiers online, and I saw that media back then in uni had even put my stuff online. So some of them were too old because your evidences need to be in the past 5 years. Some of them were older than 5 years, which I couldn't use, but I was able to use some, right? And like I said, most of our customers are based abroad. So I had, there's one of the evidences when you need to have sold your product to people all around the world. So and one thing I usually do is I'm very good at documenting. I usually do my receipts, my invoices, the DHL receipt that we used to send stuff abroad. I make sure I keep them because these are all the things needed for this visa. So good documentation was one of the things I would say helped me able to gather documents I have had from way back. So good documentation is one thing I would tell. So anybody listening to this that doesn't do documentation, please start now. Start documenting. Then any win you have, no matter how small your win is, maybe the media spoke about your collection, keep records of all these things. They are going to be needed.
So, okay. Aside from that, just throw more light. Did you submit up to 10 pieces?
Yes, I did up to 10. I submitted 10 pieces of evidence, 3 recommendation letters, and a letter of intent, like a statement of purpose. Yeah.
Just because the why I'm asking this is, people still feel like 10 pieces of evidence. Where am I getting this as a fashion designer? Okay, like I interviewed one guy. What's his name? I forgot it. What he did was that, okay, fine, it's a digital artist, but he also combined, like he was a musician, he was an artist, he had some songs and some other things that he just kind of combined together to pull out these 10 pieces of evidence. So, did you have anything outside of, because it's art and culture, you understand? You can be a dancer, you still bring that in. You can be a musician, you still bring that in. You can be a painter or whatsoever, as long as it's under art and culture, you can still bring that in. Aside from fashion, Was there any other evidence that you have that was kind of outside the fashion industry?
So basically, for fashion design, all your evidences have to be in fashion. You cannot, I think I know what you said. I think I listened to that person you said where he brought stuff from his graphics into he was a musician also.
Yeah.
So for fashion design, all your evidences has to be majorly under fashion because the criteria are there already. So you cannot even go out of the criteria. So there was nothing I took out of fashion design into my evidences.
Okay. So I want you to look at, I want you to come up with your 5 strongest evidence. I know why I'm saying this because it's helping someone that is listening to this video. I will give you an example. When I got the visa, cybersecurity in University of Sunderland was one. My job in the company, like where I was working with an ISP in Nigeria, was 2. You get the point. So can you just get us into your 5 strongest evidence that I know you talk about receipt and gathering documentation. What other 4 pieces of evidence can you remember that really help you?
So, what really helped me? Among my evidences are my letters of recommendation. Though these are different from evidences,
Yes.
but this is one of the strongest thing you need for your documentation or for the evidences. Letters of recommendation. So what I did was I made sure people writing my letters of recommendation are top fashion designers. Right, because a lot of people make this mistake of they just look at somebody that is just a fashion designer. When you put that person on the gram, or when you put the person's name on Google, you can't find anything on the person. So I made sure through years that I've been working, I've done collaboration with fashion designers. So I made sure my fashion designers were not just mere, let's use the Nigerian language, queer fashion designers. They were top fashion designers that when the officer handling my case saw it, he would definitely know that this person is a reputable person. Secondly, what I always say is make sure I made sure all my evidences were good. One thing people don't know is out of your 10 evidences, if 9 is good and 1 is bad, it can spoil all your application.
Wow.
So you need to make sure all evidences are top notch. So thirdly, there's something called industry recognition. I'm going to make reference to somebody that just got refused. He reached out to me for consultation. So during our own time, letters of industry recognition could mean I'm a fashion designer, a top musician in Nigeria has worn my clothes, right? So he just need to post it on his Instagram while I just get the picture from his Instagram where he tagged me, get a letter for him. That worked. So now that doesn't work again for industry recognition. So why am I saying all this? Everybody applying for this visa needs to also make sure they read the guidelines. These guidelines are updated almost within the past one. We are in the 9th month of the year. It has been updated twice this year. The 2nd of June and the last one was the 30th of August. So everyone needs to always read the latest guideline because what worked last month might not work this month.
Yeah.
So you need to also do that. So then lastly, what I would say is make sure your evidences are easily placed for the recommender or for the for the person that is going to deal with the application. These guys are dealing with millions of applications, so your application needs to be, you don't have to give the guy any stress. Make sure everything is written well, as in do as if you are giving the application to a baby. Explain everything in detail. I made sure all my application was detailed. I wrote. You would think the way I prepared my application, you think I'm giving a 1-year-old to read because I explained every bit I thought he should know. Never think they understand. Explain and give them the best evidence you get. So those 5 things are one of the things I would say anybody applying for this visa should make sure they do.
Okay. We are definitely coming into that because already you sound like you have a whole lot of information, not just you applying and getting the visa. You have all the techniques, the strategies to kind of help anyone to get this visa. Do you do coaching as well? Because that is, let me be sure before we
do coaching for fashion designers that want to go through this route. So we help them to be able to get more chances to get endorsed in the stage one of the application. Yes, we do.
Okay, we're coming to that.
Yeah, they are paid consultants, not just they are paid consultants.
We are coming to that. Let's look at your business currently right now. Is it still operating in Nigeria? Do you have plan of bringing it down to the UK?
Yes, my business is still operating in Nigeria. My Instagram is Tee-Clothiers Bespoke. So anyone that goes online and I'm putting Tee-Clothiers Bespoke online, you'll see our operations. Our office address in Lagos is in Yaba, 1 Commercial Avenue, Sabo, Yaba, Lagos. We're still operating. We have a walk-in store. You can go in there, and immediately I got my visa. Another good thing about this global talent visa, immediately I got my visa, I registered my business here in less than 6 hours after I got my visa. So now I'm registered fully here. I can operate here. I can sell here. I can do anything. But the thing now is I have to start paying tax, because the UK does not joke with tax. I have to start paying what they call corporate tax. So it's operating back home, and we're operating here as well.
Okay. Good. And you have a team right here in the UK.
Yes, I do.
Right. Let's get a little bit into the coaching this thing, because when I started this series of talking to people that got the global talent visa, I discovered there was like not enough video online, no information. I remember when I interviewed the first lady, she was like, she hasn't seen anything, and immediately I helped her, I talked to her, I said, okay, this is what you can do, but I'm advising you based on the global talent visa in digital technology, which I got. You have to seek more information on your area, because I don't really know what they are looking for, but I think the guideline and some other things will be the same. These days, some people have gotten the visa and there are some information that even those people are still struggling, people are still looking for help, because digesting all this information is really, really hard. How do you help people to get this visa?
So what I do is before now I have put out 3 videos. There's one on YouTube, they're on my page on Instagram, there's one on YouTube, there's one we did on Zoom also. So as a youth ambassador with ECOWAS, one of our objectives is helping young entrepreneurs back home in Nigeria that needs help. So we've got different initiatives that is going to come on whereby we help upcoming fashion designers to level up. Also, this is one of the reasons why we have free webinars out on our page, where people can actually go, because not everybody has the finance to get paid and consultation. So for people that can't do the paid one, we've got videos on our Instagram where you can read and look at your guidelines and help you help you tailor your application. And if you can read those information well and read the guidelines to it will also work. And also, if for people that feel after they've read all the guidelines, seen all our videos, they now need one-to-one consultation. Because I tell you, the easiest way to get this visa is going through or seeking help from someone that has gotten this visa. Me talking to you, I did the same thing. You need someone to hold you by your hands to do this visa, because like I said in the beginning, the more you look, the less you see. Because the slightest mistake you can do in this visa is just going to mess you up. And during my own time, it was the evidences you need were lesser. Now they've changed the evidences. Now you need to do this, you need to do that. Before, when I did mine, for your for your media, it could just be anything. When I opened my walk-in store in Lagos, I called media houses to come. That was what I just kept as my evidence, that I opened a store in Lagos. This is what I did. That was one of my media evidences. But now that doesn't work. Your media evidence has to be strictly, according to the word, they said it's a detailed evaluation of your work. And what does that mean? A detailed evaluation of your collection. One other thing I would say, during my own time for the media, you don't even need a byline. You can just write, they can just write Guardian, they can write Tribune, they can write anything. But now they need a byline. They need the name of a critic, a very known critic in Nigeria or anywhere in the world. So they need to know that the critic did this evaluation of your work. So you see what I'm trying to say? So all these things are little things that it's not written in the guidelines online. So that's the reason why I tell people it doesn't have to be Tee-Clothiers to guide you. It can be anybody else, but seek guidance.
Yeah. Okay. Looking at someone that is in the early stage, okay, I'm a fashion designer. I don't have any evidence. Like you said, you Google your name and already you can see some online presence of your work and all those things, which was easy for you to pull that and apply it and convert that as an evidence. How do you kind of tell people, or how do you assist people that, okay, I'm into this thing, I don't have a strong evidence, but I really want to go through the process of getting this visa, whether it's 1 year or 2 years, I want to develop this evidence and apply for it. How do you assist them?
Yes, so for people that are upcoming fashion designers that don't have anything online, they don't have any information, they don't have any of the guidelines. What we do to help these people is there's a package called a gold package where we help you from scratch. We help you it's just like teaching you from primary to secondary school. We help you to tell you how to do a good Instagram, have to have a good Instagram presence, right? Now we coach you and teach you how to do your books. Now you need to start issuing invoices for people. You need to start issuing receipts for people. You need to start documenting of whatever you're doing, right? So we teach you on, we put you towards, in case there's a fashion show going on in Nigeria or anywhere in the world, we tell you, go for this fashion show. Do you understand what I'm saying? So we guide you like we're guiding a baby. And I tell you, there are so many, you said upcoming fashion, there are fashion designers that have been doing this work for over 10 years and they don't even have any documentation. So it's not even it's not all about people just starting. Even 10 years, 12 years, people in the business, they don't have any evidences. And what I tell you is all these evidences, they are achievable. They are
100%,
achievable.
100%, yeah.
They are achievable. All what you need is just time. So I see someone come to me that, hello, Tee-Clothiers, I've got 2 months for my visa and I need to get the global talent visa. I just look at you like, you can, even me, I didn't gather my evidences that I have in 2 months. So you need time. So what thing I will end with it, you can start now. In case you don't have any of these guidelines, you can start now. And especially for people that are just, maybe you just came into the UK and you are still on a student visa, the best time to start gathering these evidences is now. And for people back home in Nigeria, which is, you are not in a hurry, nobody is sending you out of your fatherland. Yeah. So you have more time. You have more time to gather this evidence. So all what we do is we help you. And for people that they think they have all their evidences and they want to document, review also, we also offer that services as well. Let's say you've gotten all your evidences and you want to see if these evidences are they submission worthy. So we also offer those kind of services as well.
Okay, that's good. I will display your Instagram page and some other vital information that I will ask you to provide them. This will be on the screen and on the description. So in case anybody that is really passionate about this visa and you really want to apply, like Ambassador Tosin has just said, you need guidance. I can't lie to you. This is very, very important. This is very, very vital. I got the visa within, like, the whole getting the information, applying and everything was within, I would say, 1 month. But what helped me was that my evidence was just sitting down somewhere. It's just all about me pulling it out and applying. But in the real sense, if I wasn't working with somebody, I wouldn't have gotten it. So it's very vital to seek help, to seek counseling, except you want to take the tedious process of reading, watching a whole lot of video, which is definitely going to take you a whole lot of time. Nobody is pushing you or forcing you to use somebody. If you can get all those information and apply, it's fine. But you really need someone that has gotten the visa to hold your hand, put you in the right direction, and help you get the visa. You are a youth ambassador for ECOWAS, right?
Yes, please.
And you also mentioned something about Nelson Mandela. What was that?
Yeah, so after I got the appointment of being a youth ambassador with the ECOWAS Youth Council, I also got the award for the Nelson Mandela Leadership Award of Excellence and Integrity. And to say this, how I wish most of the accolades and awards I've gotten after my global talent. If I had gotten all these things before I applied for global, maybe I applied as a promising talent. I could have applied as an exceptional talent. We didn't talk about that.
These two even came after you got the global talent visa.
Exactly. And that's one of the good things about the global talent. Getting the global talent puts you on the global map. It puts you on the global map. I tell people, whatever you're doing in this life, don't think about the benefits of just the global talent. There are so many things that can come after a global talent visa. Because even in the UK, they know what the global talent visa is. The last time I went to Nigeria, when I was coming back, the immigration officer looked at my BRP and saw global talent. And he looked at me and said, and he shook my hand. Like, how did you get this? Like, it's been a long time he saw some. So getting the visa it's good. The benefits are numerous. The benefits are numerous. And I would also like to put this in for the sake of people watching this video. There's a new guide. In the new guideline that just came out, for most people, I've been getting numerous DMs about the industry recognition. Before industry recognition, a celebrity could wear your clothes and post it online, and you can use that as industry recognition. Now, the only people that can do industry recognition is individuals that did either a BSc or a master's degree in fashion design. So if you didn't do anything in fashion design, just know you can't use industry recognition, because you need to show, as it's stated on the website, on the guideline, it has to be specifically a graduating class. So like people like us that did project management for MSc, our dissertation was 15,000 words. Fashion designer, what they do is they just tell them to go make they make attires, and maybe they just have to write 300. I stand to be corrected. Maybe they just have to write like 500 words. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that is what they use as industry recognition only. You can never use anything else for industry recognition. So it's just graduates of fashion design or anything in fashion, or you've done anything in fashion in schools in Nigeria or in the UK. Those are the people that can use industry recognition. I just wanted to put that in.
Okay, under art and culture, there's a criteria that says someone from the UK has to recommend you. Is that correct?
So you don't necessarily they don't necessarily need, if you're applying as a promising talent, you don't need a UK fashion designer or any body in the UK to recommend you. All your 3 letters of recommendation can come from anywhere in the world. Back home, the 3 can come from back home. If you're Nigerian, you don't need. It's only if you're applying as an exceptional talent, that's when you need one UK recommender.
Okay, that's good. Okay, right. I think you've said enough. Is there anything that you would like to add that I've not asked you?
I also like to add in. For the past couple of months, rejections have been way too much. The amount of emails and DMs I've been getting, hello sir, I got rejected, is my DM is all about rejection. And it's really bad. So I want to tell anybody that wants to apply for this visa, please read the new guidelines. Okay, I'm going to drop another vital information. Now, they rejected somebody just because of the letter was not written in a company letterhead, and they rejected somebody else just because of date. So let me just tell you how your letter of recommendation needs to look like. A letter of recommendation needs to be written by a top institution or a body, like an arts and culture body, or an individual, a top individual in the fashion business or a fashion designer. Then it needs to be written on the company letterhead. The company letterhead needs to write the name of the company, the email address of the company, the website of the company, because they expect somebody recommended you has to have a website.
Yeah.
It has to have a website, the phone number of the person. The letter needs to be addressed to the British Fashion Council, not just an ordinary to whom it may concern. You need to go online, look for the British Fashion Council address, and put the address on the letter. The letter needs to be dated. It can have a heading like letter of recommendation for so and so person. Then the letter needs to, first of all, let's say the first paragraph of the letter needs to state about it needs to talk about the person. This visa is all about boasting and talking about yourself. So the letter of recommendation needs the first paragraph, the person needs to state all his achievements, what he's doing, when the company was established, their modes of operation, and all those things. Then the letter needs to state how this person knows you. If you have a picture with this person, you can also put the picture. They said the letter has to be 3 sizes of an A4 paper. If they write the letter in 2 pages, if you have a picture with the person, you can also put the picture in that letter at the third part. Just make sure it's not more than 3 pages. The letter needs to state how the person knows you. The letter also needs to state how the person thinks you coming to the UK is going to benefit the UK government. Because why can't you do fashion and tailoring in Nigeria? So the person can state something like, in Nigeria, we don't get funds and epileptic power supply, or you don't get to see mixed with different cultures and tradition like the UK. So the person can put stuff like that inside the letter. Also, the person needs to state how they think, if you are giving this UK visa, how they think you are going to thrive in the UK. So if all this little information are not there, they will tell you your letter is not complete, and you might have written 3 pages. So you need to go back to the guidelines. All these things are written in the guidelines. If you can look at it, and I tell people, if you're looking for letter of recommendation, if you can write this letter, if you have a good relationship with this person, then they can put in their accolades and their accomplishment and sign it for you. Because most people don't have time to write you letter in that format. They just want to sign your letter. So write this letter yourself and give to these people. Then tell them to put in whatever they feel their accomplishment, because you cannot know them more than they know them. Or even go online, you will see their accomplishment and put in their accomplishment there. Do you understand? So all this little information are what people need to look. Because you can get everything right, and just one letter of recommendation is going to mess up your application. And also, one nugget I would like to say, most of the time, if you don't have up to 10 evidences, if you have at least 8 good evidences, go ahead with it.
Go for it.
According to the regulation, they said up to 10 evidences. But you cannot do more than 10, because they'll send your application back and tell you to pick your best 10. So if you have 8, go ahead with it, because some people will have 8 good evidences and 2 bad evidences. And because of that 2 evidences, the application will get refused. So you see, all these little nuggets are what people are applying for the UK, especially the fashion. A lot of people are going in and applying for the fashion. The rejection rate is more than almost 95% at the moment. So I'll just stop at that.
Wow. Rejection rate is almost 95. That is a lot. Do you think most of these people really use someone as a coach, or they just go in and apply on themselves?
I tell you for a fact, if you see reasons why people get rejected, you will know they didn't use a coach. Some people do not understand what the UK Global Talent Visa. They say something like, if you want to keep information from a Nigerian, put it in a book. Do you get what I'm saying? People don't even I tell anybody that wants to have a consultation with me sometimes, what do you even know about the UK Global Talent Visa? Because some people don't even know anything about the UK Global Talent Visa. So you need to read sometimes. So when you read and you get confused, you can now seek advice. Because if you don't even read and you seek advice, I'm also confused about what you want. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So you need to read all this evidence, read them lines by line. Like I've said, I've talked about the media. There has to be a byline in your media, and it has to be talking only on your work. Maybe you released a collection, they spoke about your collection only. Then second, the last one I didn't mention is for your proof of sales. Before, during my own time, proof of sales could be anybody. Somebody can buy just one attire for myself, and I have all the invoices, DHL, and receipts. They accepted it during my own time for proof of sale. Now, proof of sale needs to be a boutique or a luxury retailer anywhere in the world. It cannot just be an individual. It worked during my time. I think out of all my proof of sale, I had just 2 or 3 retailers, and I used 5 proof of sale. So 2 were just, maybe they just got like a suit, 1 suit. So now they don't want 1 suit. And now it has to be like a you know, when a luxury boutique wants to buy something for you, they won't buy 1 stuff from you. So they will buy a lot of stuff. So what I would advise, make sure it's a lot of stuff, not just 1 attire. If you can, by all means, you know, beg them to buy, you know, it's not even about the amounts now. It's about the quantity of stuff they are buying. Because a luxury retailer will not buy 1 suit from your hand. He will buy suits in different colors from your hand, maybe 15 pieces each. So all these things is what you need to know for proof of sales. So I think I've even touched on proof of sales. I've touched on media. I've touched on industry recognition. The only one I didn't talk about is support and sponsorship. So I'll just quickly talk about support and sponsorship. So support and sponsorship is just talking about who have given you any support. As any big there are organizations, they go there in the guidelines, but most of those organizations are British organizations. We have the Nigerian counterpart. So as anybody, you know, there's this one Tony Lumelu is doing now, the Tony Lumelu Foundation, where they help entrepreneurs and give them grants and loans. So if you have received something like that, that is a support and sponsorship. So if you've gotten stuff like that, you just need to state the initiative that gave you, the people that gave you the date you were given, and you can put that on, then you're good to go. So I think I've spoken about the all the evidences and the letters of recommendation.
Yeah. I think that was what I was looking at the beginning of the video, and yeah, thank God you've touched everything: support and sponsorship. You've talked about the recommendation letters. You've talked about proof of sale, which I believe is a very strong evidence, because you cannot say you are a fashion and you cannot show proof of what you're selling to people and all this stuff. I think you've touched so many other things. This is a whole lot of information for anyone that is watching this video. I don't think you should have any problem going for it and applying for this visa. Even if you don't have all the evidence, you should be able to have a clear direction on how to strategize and plan in the next 6 months, 1 year before you apply. What's your final thoughts for anyone that is listening to this video and they are still scared? They are still scared because the write-up is scary. The application sometimes can be scary. Like, what I used to encourage myself was just apply. Because when you look at this write-up, happily someone will just feel like, okay, I'm still going for it. What's your advice for anyone that still wants to apply but they are super scared?
So my advice for anyone that wants to apply that are super scared is, don't be scared. All these evidences you see, all those big grammar, they can be broken down. All those evidences, they are achievable. What you need to do is seek clarity. Try as much as possible to read online about all these guidance or all these guidelines for the evidence. Seek clarity. Once you seek clarity, you see that everything that looked difficult in that evidence, they can be gotten. And lastly, make sure you don't rush these evidences. Don't say you don't have anything and you want to get all your evidence in 1 month. If you've been doing the work, you can get your evidence in 1 month. Like you said you get all your evidence, but just staying somewhere. You just went to pick them up.
Mm.
If you can do that, fine. But if you don't have, just give yourself the time. Especially people that are on study visa that just want to switch with their 1 month, 2 months remaining. Please go ahead and apply for post-study. And while applying for your post-study, you have all the time to apply for. But if you have time, maybe you're in the third month of your what's it called, or you still have 1 year on your visa, on your study visa, fine. You can, in 1 year, you can get all your evidences. And lastly, the God factor. You need to pray because this thing sometimes, yeah, I've seen a situation where someone's application was rejected. The reason why that person's application was rejected, the evidence that got rejected, for another person, the case officer accepted that evidence for another person and rejected it for one other person. So I tell you, just pray for the grace of God, pray for favor. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Because I will tell you, you can do the work, but the God factor really, really works and really, really helps.
Is there a review section after being denied, like in the technician?
Yeah. So for the fashion design, so if you get denied and you feel they made a mistake or you feel you are not supposed to be, within 28 days of the rejection, you can apply for a review.
Okay, that's good.
So if you get rejected, there are 3 things you can do. You can apply for a review, you can reapply again, or you can just go and seek for another visa route and apply in another visa route.
Right. Ambassador Tosin, thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it. In a nutshell, I like how you keep stressing that this is achievable, and this is very, very true. It's achievable. Seek clarity. There's nothing you can never get this visa without a clear clarification on the write-up and the guidelines that they've set it out. Don't rush for this visa. You have to take your time. There's no time to rush. And coaching session is very, very important. Like I said, all the information about Tosin will be displayed in the description box. And lastly, pray for it. As long as it's a visa, I used to tell people, anything visa, it means that you don't have 100% chances of getting it. Anything they said, apply for it. No matter what, you are applying, it can be denied, it can be achieved. So thank you, my brother. Thank you. I really appreciate it. We'll see you next time.
Lastly, I would like to say I'm not an immigration lawyer, neither am I a solicitor. Everything I've said is based on my knowledge as a recipient of this visa and based on information you can find online. So don't quote me verbatim. Please do your research as well. Thank you very much.
All right. Yeah, that's true. What you've said is based on your own experience. Other people have their own strategy of getting the visa. So that is a straight point. Thank you. I really appreciate it. We'll talk again next time.
All right. Thank you very much for having me. Have a good day.
Thank you. Peace out.
This could be good for me. Lately I was feeling like I need a purpose. But when you talk to me, give me the impression that I won't scratch your surface. And I could walk for days, searching for your praise. Is it even there to find? Is there a chance for me to win your memories? Will I slowly lose my mind? Lost in your maze, stuck in your gaze. How can I get out? I'm out of time to make you mine. Baby, show me